Hello, everybody. Craig Peterson here. We have a bit of a special presentation today. In fact, this whole week we're going into mobile threats. These are the threats against our mobile devices, things we need to know and to do. So, if you've had any of these problems, you've noticed slowness on your phone's been getting hot, you've been getting texts from numbers you don't recognize, phone calls to numbers you don't recognize. We're going to talk about that today. This whole thing today is about social engineering, and I got a few notes here that I want to make sure we cover. And if you have any questions, by all means, make sure you stick them right here underneath this video. I'll be more than glad to help you with them. Now, we have a new program that we're rolling out, in fact, this week. It's on Thursday. We're going to do a live masterclass. Now, if you've been following these lives, you know last week I talked a lot about VPNs and what you should do, how you should configure it, when should you use a VPN, which one should you use, which one shouldn't you use. So on Thursday this week, we're planning on doing a master class on VPNs. Now, the master class is going to be free if you attend live on Thursday, because I really want your input. I want to know what your questions are. I want to be able to answer them. We're going to do it live, probably on Zoom. So it's just going to be a nice little Zoom room. Whoever shows up gets in, and I understand you're all not going to be able to be there, but we're planning on having it about 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. So if you can be there with your questions. We're going to do a little teaching about VPNs, much deeper dive than I did in these lives that we're doing, where I'm just kind of hitting on one little subject. Make sure you are on my email list so you can find out about it. There's no sign-up form yet for this master class. We're going to be having a sequence of them. So the only way to find out is to make sure you're on my main mailing list. That is at craigpeterson.com/subscribe. So make sure you sign up there. So take a second right now before we get into these mobile threats. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like it today. I'd like to have a few words of greeting. Hopefully you can give me a little heart too if you have that availability on your device. So what we're really talking about when we're talking about this whole social engineering problem is psychological manipulation. Now, it's been around forever, hasn't it? And I can think of a lot of cases going back to the Eiffel Tower, the guy that sold the Eiffel Tower. This was absolutely amazing. He claimed to be a scrap dealer. And what he was going to do then is take the Eiffel Tower and sell it and figure out how to do it, right? Well, that didn't work for him. So he went on to his next little trick, which was he had realized that people would honor him as a member of the government, of the ruling government, in certain conditions. And maybe what he should do is pretend he's a bureaucrat. And that's exactly what he did. He pretended he was a bureaucrat and started taking in bids from people as he approached scrap dealers, bids from people to say, hey, here's what I'll pay you for the Eiffel Tower in scrap metal. And he realized that people thought this was a little fishy too. So in order to really make people think that he was indeed a government bureaucrat and he could really sell the Eiffel Tower, what he did was he said, okay, well, just pay me a little bribe, right? Well, he didn't say it in so many words, but that's what the message was. And then all of a sudden, these people realized, oh, okay, this guy must be a legitimate government official. He's looking for a bribe. And he actually made it. He got away with the money. Now, I guess that's not too confusing for some of us, but there's another example of social engineering. The guy came in, he tried a couple of approaches, maybe like we have had where we got the Nigerian prince scam stuff some years ago, right? And that didn't work so well, so they kept refining. And then this guy decided, oh, well, I'll just pretend I'm a bureaucrat and I have the ability to really control the money, right? To accept the payments and control who gets access, etc. So today what we're facing is kind of a similar thing where people are sending us text messages and trying to get us to open them. So first off, it started really with phone calls. I remember one day I got six phone calls from the IRS. And of course, it wasn't the IRS. It was just a bad guy pretending to be from the IRS. It was actually a woman in this case, and no discernible accent. She was probably a little bit Southern, but that was it. And she said I had to pay right away, and I had to buy some uh, gift cards and then send the numbers of the gift cards to her in order to pay this tax bill. And that kind of worked for some people. Obviously, didn't work on me. I kept hanging up on her. And other times they say, hey, the police are going to show up in a few minutes and they're going to arrest you. Usually it's like 20 minutes from now. The police will be at your door if you don't pay right now. And they'd have you go online, again, buy a gift card. But it kind of smells right still. So they've been moving further and further because people just stopped answering their phones. I don't answer my phone when it's a call from a number I just plain old don't recognize. So what did they start doing, the scam artists? They started calling you from a number, at least the caller ID number, was the same area code and prefix as your phone number. So if your area code is 603 and your prefix was 123, and then of course you have your four digits, 5678, right? They would send a phone number to you via caller ID as 603-123-1665, for instance. The idea was, oh, wow, wait a minute, this is somebody local to me. I'm going to answer the phone. And they got you to answer the phone, and they did these various scams. They're still doing all of this stuff, by the way. This isn't something that's stopped or gone away. Now what we're seeing is they're trying to get you to respond to a text message. Now, I've had a couple of people who get my emergency alerts because I send out emergency text alerts. There's about 1,000 people on that list. And they're leery of clicking on the links that I send them because I tell them not to click on links. So it's not a bad thing to not click on links, but it's from me, you better click on it. So what they're doing now is they get you to click on a link. And it might look like it's from your bank or the IRS or somebody else you do business with. And what they'll end up doing then is when you click on that link, it'll take you to a site that tries to infect you, tries to do something. Now, there's some new features that are in browsers. You've seen them. I'm sure it comes up and says, hey, I'd like to send you messages, alerts, banners, whatever. And you have the option to say yes or no. Well, what they're doing, the bad guys in this case, is they're using that same technology to now use your phone for things like crypto mining, where they're trying to mine cryptocurrencies in order to make some money for themselves. A very, very big deal. So if your phone is hot, if your battery isn't lasting, it may well be because your phone is being used as a crypto miner. How's that? You get to pay for the electricity. Your phone doesn't work. It's slow. It's hot, and it's using your data plan, right? All for crypto mining. It's absolutely amazing, and they love this. They love the SMS because people just reflexively open it up. 98% of the time, an SMS is looked at within 60 seconds of it being sent. So these guys, rather than having these long lead times of weeks while they try new techniques, they now have a lead time of just minutes. So that's what they're doing for you and to you right now. Spoofing the phone numbers, the SMS or the text messages. They're using smishing as well. That's a mobile specific way of phishing. You've heard of phishing before, I'm sure. Spear phishing. That Nigerian scam was an example of phishing. Just send out an email to as many people as you can. It's kind of like putting a big net out, seeing what you catch, right? There are spear phishing going on where you're going after one fish. That's happening all the time. The FBI is warning about us because we're seeing businesses that are getting nailed from this stuff. And then now they're also trying to gain access to your accounts. So be very careful. This week we're going to be talking more about this, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, watch these things, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like what's going on, like what you're hearing, and ask any questions you might have. Tomorrow we have coming up, insecure networks. We're going to be talking about, we're going to also talk about data leaks and how this all ties in. But this week, it's all about the mobile threats. So thanks for joining me. These are going to be quick and to the point. I'm going to be telling you exactly what you can do in order to help mitigate these threats, to stop them. But we got to understand them first. And remember, don't forget, sign up so that you can attend my free, it's always free the first time it's run, masterclass on last week's topic, which was VPNs. And then next week, we're probably going to do a deeper dive into the mobile threats as well. So sign up, craigpeterson.com. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.